this will be a good Halloween-themed movie that could be fun. All right, chats. Let us do everything wrong with 28 weeks later. Shall we?
Disney.
I can't wait
the
to
defunct distribution logo and the remake of Revenge of the Nerds that I'll never get to sin because of it. This DNA spiral only contains one of the correct nucleotides.
Never enough tins of tomatoes, eh?
Tins.
Got 5 tins of chickpeas. That should last at least 5 years, eh?
Turning your nose up at chickpeas when in a potential post-apocalyptic scenario that would point toward an eventual food shortage. Less than 2 minutes in, and I'm positive that Don is a fucking wanker that I will not like even before he has turned into an infected.
Or yes. I fucking hated this guy. This man right here is responsible for the whole fucking movie happening. Well, him and his dumbass fucking kids are responsible for the whole fucking movie, and you are right to hate him.
And all of that is before discovering he leaves his wife to defend herself to save his own ass
Yes!
a few minutes later.
Yes!
You're in luck.
This dusty bottle plays games with your mind about how long they've been holed up in this house. This scene takes place somewhere in the middle of the 28 days from the first movie. Cillian Murphy probably hasn't even woken up yet. This bottle has always been old.
Gorgeous.
Chekhov's love.
Not interrupting, am I?
Cock-blocking
Yeah.
Sally's.
Karen?
Karen's.
It's been 5 days since your boyfriend ran out on us.
It'll still be 2 days till we say we're sorry.
There are no survivors. It's just us in here and them out there.
I mean, think of the odds of the script knocking on the door right after that statement.
Don, it's a kid!
Knowing this and still opening the door. So it begins, and by it, I mean
There
the
you go.
rapid, unintelligible cutting. Shaking the camera like you're Andre 3000 with a Polaroid
Oh,
picture.
God.
Even
That was one of my biggest complaints with this movie is the fucking shaky cam was in full fucking effect with this movie. Like, the quick cuts in the shaky cam, oh my God, they were so prevalent. You couldn't see half of what was going on because everything was... Like, I swear to God, there were about as many cuts in this movie as there were in Taken fucking 3. Like, the cuts were bad enough, and when it wasn't cutting, the shaky cam was just... Oh, it was almost vomit-inducing how much the camera was shaking.
No, the plot and the picture will develop at the same rate no matter how hard you shake it. Quick, Jeff, tell them about the notes of autumn. Maybe it will distract them for a bit.
I get blackberries, vanilla, notes of autumn.
Yeah, it was worth a try.
Yeah, I don't think they care.
Movies have spent a century convincing us that when faced with the choice of dying for a loved one, the answer is a simple yes. You stand in front of that bullet. You jump on that grenade. You drink that poison. You die in freezing water even though there was most definitely room on the door for 2 people. Truth is, the decision to give up your life for another is not that cut and dry. The emotions that underpin such a choice also require tremendous will to go through with the sacrifice. Yet this is a thing that humans often do. An examination of the morality behind Don's choice should have been the central tension of this movie. It was compelling and way more interesting than anything that happens to Tammy and Andy. The running down.
Yes. Fuck yes. Because after this scene, all the morality of his choices is gone. The fact that he ran away from his wife like this in this opening scene, this is pretty much the last we hear of it. It's never used again. This plot point here, that would have been so good as a through line and could have been a fucking callback later in the movie, forgotten about after the scene is over. They could have worked with when he's further into the movie where he's haunted by his decision, he's haunted by his cowardice, what he perceives as cowardice, because again, CinemaSins just pointed out how, the fact that he ran away is not simply just he's a coward. It's that, it's people in crisis when faced with something like this. You never know. they did say it best. Like, we always go on the assumption. We are saying it right now. Some of you are saying in chat right now that should the need arise, we would jump to defend our loved ones. We would put ourselves in place of our loved ones so our loved ones could survive. It's very easy to say that in the here and now when we are not faced with that adrenaline surging moment of when it happens. Every single one of us that we want, and I include myself in this, that say that we would do anything to protect our loved ones, that we would die for our loved ones, when that moment finally strikes, all of that conviction can flee us. In that moment of fear, in that moment of panic, that conviction that we have in this moment could be gone at the snap of a finger in the moment that it happens, because you just don't know. You don't. It's very easy to say, I would absolutely do this. It's very easy to say, he's a coward for running. But until you are, granted, this is an absolutely insane fucking situation here, but until you are in a situation where you are confronted with the choice of, do you die to protect those that you love, or do you run and save yourself? You don't know what choice you're going to make until you are in that situation. And in this movie, that would have made, because don't forget, 28 Days Later was not an action movie. 28 Days Later was a character piece that was exploring the psychology of the survivors of the zombie apocalypse, how they're surviving, what they're doing to survive, the choices that they made, and it was very psychological in nature, along with some moments of action. 28 weeks later could have done that. 28 weeks later could have gone further and played around with his story, how he copes with in the face of danger like this. Instead of doing everything he could to save his wife, he ran. And they could have explored that, how he's coping with it, if he's got regrets for it, if he's come to terms with it, how it changed his life, etc., etc. It could have been a really great story and outstanding character development. We get none of that.
Often do. An examination of the morality behind Don's choice should have been the central tension of this movie. It was compelling and way more interesting than anything that happens to Tammy and Andy. The Running Dead. Also, I always thought it was just the infected that got dosed with the ability to be as fast as Jesse Owens, but apparently that goes for any character that needs to be able to run fast in the moment. This water may be shallow enough to stand in, but it raises the question, can these zombies swim? If they have the agility to run, I would surmise they should also be able to swim. And supposedly they all starved to death without a single one of them setting a record in crossing the English Channel.
This is the worst combat I ever saw. Where's the f***ing combat?
What part of the infected have died of starvation made you think there would be combat when you got here?
Northeastern Med Center. 20th floor, 3 windows in. Fat guy, jerking off in the toilet.
Excitement? This plane that we see landing at London City Airport pulls up to a gate at London Stansted Airport.
No one told me that we're now admitting children.
And I, as a viewer, now know that this was a unique and important story event.
Welcome back to Britain.
Britain.
There are a large number of bodies still left to be cleared.
Repatriation orientations position.
We understand that it did not manage to go cross-species.
Yes.
That it did not manage to go airborne, and that the last infected human died 6 months ago.
Look at the size of the hubris on this guy. Makes premature celebration feel like an understatement. Walking right through the memorial. This family is the worst.
I basically run.
Yeah, and again, that's
like an
dad.
Understatement. Walking right through.
There's I guess they kind of skipped the part. So, you know, London is being repopulated. They're bringing people back into London. And he's basically like the head, I forget what job title they gave him. He's like the head maintenance guy or something. So he has, they literally give this guy, just a guy. He's not military. He's not nothing. He's just a guy. And I'm pretty sure he's just like a maintenance person or something, I think. And he has full access to everywhere into London. This key card of his gives him access to literally everywhere in London, and he is just some fucking nobody. I don't believe he did, Sam. To my understanding is he didn't have an important job prior to the apocalypse. He had no special skills. He was just a guy. And they gave him full access to literally fucking everywhere. And he's responsible for the outbreak. Yes, it did, Revan. Yes, they're in, like, the 28 days later was in Britain, in Great Britain, and 28 weeks later takes place in London and, so to speak, in surrounding communities. But again, there's, like, he's reintroduced here after all the infected have died in London, and we don't see any mental trauma from the events that we just witnessed. He's just like, I'm in charge of the whole place. I have access to everywhere. And there's no indication that he is haunted by his actions.
Through the memorial. This family is the worst.
I basically run the place, you know?
No, you're the caretaker, really, aren't you?
Tammy would be excellent at CinemaSins.
Was there nothing you could do?
No, there was nothing I could do.
Now Don has doubled down on his choice earlier. He lies to his kids and sets up even more tension that begs for a resolution. But instead of capitalizing on that, this only ends up being a means for the story to get its resurgence of infected. Isn't 28 weeks a little too soon to be making these kinds of jokes? Especially to people who have had to be up close to the ugly problem at hand? Because I think it probably is, and Doyle is a terrible person. Also,
Neon. Except, this guy wasn't involved. This guy's another American pilot. These are two Americans. Neither of them were up close to the situation. They weren't involved. Yeah, it's Jeremy Renner and I forget, oh God, I forget this actor's name. But they're both Americans. They're both part of the American military. They weren't involved in the zombie outbreak. Because the zombie outbreak was limited to Britain. It was contained on the island of Great Britain. So I don't get this sin because they weren't involved with the zombies at all.
to be up close to the ugly problem at hand? Because I think it probably is, and Doyle is a terrible person. Also, that moment when you realize there was a time when Harold Perrineau was a bigger name than Idris Elba, Jeremy Renner, and Rose Byrne. Not saying I have an issue with it, but in 2025, it's kind of funny.
Oh my God! I forgot Idris Elba was in this movie. I completely forgot that he was in this.
I'm back in this
Really? But
We have hot and cold running water, 24-hour electricity, a medical center, a supermarket, and even a pub.
I mean, there are a lot worse places to have to soldier. They could have sent you to Burning Man. Andy sees his mom's eye with the same burst blood vessels that we will see her with later. Is this a nightmare? A premonition? Or a cheap jump scare inserted because the movie has lost a significant amount of momentum since it had all the infected die of natural causes 12 minutes into the movie?
I get worried
Yeah, that
I'm
one.
gonna forget what she looks like.
And sometimes I worry I'll forget how to skip. Nope, I'm good.
Andy, we agreed. You heard what they said, it's only dogs and rats out there.
Thinking that hungry dogs and rats are two things not to be concerned about.
Where are you going?
Hawkeye doesn't save everyone in the city by taking the shot.
Let's go.
Like radioing immediately and getting air support in there to basically immediately get a bird in the air to go scoop these two kids up. This is supposed to be a fucking quarantine zone, for fuck's sake. Come on!
The most stereotypical older sibling shit ever by not telling your brother you got that helmet off a dead guy. This sequence motorbikes on for all the some time.
Tommy.
Andy just entered a
Like, these kids break quarantine, are seen breaking quarantine, and have so much fucking time on their own with no military presence, like, racing after them to take them into custody and bring them back. It's like the choices made in this movie are fucking mind-boggling. Jeremy Renner is a sniper. He's like, okay, I see two kids leaving the quarantine area, and he's not immediately on the radio to his partner going, yeah, I got two kids that just broke quarantine. Do you want to get the bird in the air and go get them? And his partner go, yeah, hang on, let me fire up the propellers and immediately take off and haul ass. Like, what the fuck?
A room in his house that looks like something out of a horror movie and has rotten food and maggots everywhere. You would think the general fragrance would inspire more than a little caution. Yet he doesn't immediately have more concerns than, I wonder how this can smells. If Alice had been here the whole time, why wasn't she using the downstairs for anything? It was borderline spotless down there. With choppers and vehicles at the ready, and Doyle letting
now
everyone know
they
the
show
kids
up.
had escaped immediately, why did it take them this long to catch up with the kids? Did the military want to give Tammy and Andy enough time to find Alice, who no one knew was still alive? Did the military read the script?
Have you
Yes,
come
they did.
into direct contact with the infected?
Flashback cuts right to her running through the woods, skipping over any explanation of how she got out of the house. Even with her immunity, the infected don't just take one light bite and move on like it's a game of tag. They murder the fuck out of you until you start spitting blood.
You said you saw her die.
So now that his kids have caught him in the lie, I don't think the nipple of this tension can be tweaked any further. I can't wait to see where this goes, and I'm certain it won't become irrelevant in about 5 minutes. This soldier stood in this room the entire time listening to these kids confront their dad about leaving their mom to die, and we didn't get a single raised eyebrow, awkward breath, or oh snap.
If this woman has natural immunity, she is incredibly valuable.
Less than 20 seconds ago, you just said,
But the virus is still in her blood and saliva, so technically she's not immune.
a lot of what is going on here could benefit from an attempt to explain what having natural immunity but being technically not immune means. I know they set up earlier that Don was Mr. Fix-It, and so he had...
Well, she's not immune. She's asymptomatic. Sound familiar? That's like I'm honestly surprised that those words never left the mouths of anybody in here. Right, she's a carrier, and she has the virus in her blood, but she's asymptomatic. So she's a carrier because technically speaking, all of the infected are carriers. If they bite you, you get infected. So technically all of the infected themselves are carriers, but she is an asymptomatic carrier. So she's a carrier of the virus, but she doesn't exhibit the physiological changes that come about from being infected.
technically not immune means. I know they set up earlier that Don was Mr. Fix-It, and so he had access to everywhere, but do they seriously not have some security measures set up to prevent a glorified handyman from being able to enter a...
Yes! Like fucking here. This is what I'm talking about. He literally is just a maintenance man, and yet he has access to the entire fucking city? Why? Fucking why? I need this explained to me. Why? Granted, I understand that the Americans are running this operation here, but still, fucking why?
secure room with a potential infected threat because they fucking should.
I shouldn't have run away. I'm scared.
So Don and his wife are reunited, which leads to a kiss.
And by the way, even though he has access to this room, she is the only known source of infection in all of Great Britain right now. To their understanding, she's the only person with infected. Exactly, Ryvan. Why in the fuck is she not under constant 24-hour surveillance and this room heavily guarded with like a fucking platoon of people guarding this entire fucking area? Is it because the plot can happen? Ding!
From being able to enter a secure room with a potential infected threat because they fucking should.
I shouldn't have run away. I'm scared.
So Don and his wife are reunited, which leads to a kiss that ends with him becoming infected. There's never a clear suggestion that she does this on purpose or that the kiss was legit and she forgives him. She has a look on her face like she knew what she was doing, but then she starts freaking out. That could be because she realizes he's going to kill her, but I'm not sure how she would know for certain she could infect someone. Also, the choice to do the scene this way and give the audience nothing in the way of understanding Alice's motivation is extremely odd, or at least very dissatisfying, especially since the movie spends so much time making you wonder about the implications of Don's decision to leave his wife behind. I can't show you what's happening, but my best guess here is that the sin is marriage. The choice to film this from over Don's shoulder so you can barely see him or tell what the fuck is happening was certainly a choice.
And be vomit-inducing for... God, the freaking motion sickness you can get with this over-the-shoulder camera shots. Like, Yeah, exactly, Robin. Like, the only case is now gone. They could have had. They didn't even have the barest minimum of security. They had her strapped down when she clearly wasn't showing symptoms of the infection, even though it's registered in her blood. But they didn't even have. I fucking hated this part of it. This part of the film, I fucking hated it. I absolutely like this. This is why everybody universally hates 28 weeks later. Is this fucking scene. Because of how absolutely, positively brain dead this scene was written, is why everybody hates this fucking movie.
Choice. Talking, mapping, locking, containment?
Andy, keep hold of my hand.
Andy! Scarlet!
You had one
No,
job,
that was
Andy.
fast.
Shut down civilian areas.
Movie never sheds light on how reducing visibility was ever thought to be a good idea in any situation involving the infected.
Yeah.
Don being here right now has to be beyond coincidence. Where the first movie attempted to be more grounded, this one is content with doing another take on the supernatural horror villain.
Yes, because this motherfucker literally teleports everywhere in this movie. Like, seriously, Don fucking just teleports around the fucking city, specifically going after his children, which, as you may remember, the infected are just like wild, crazy animals that literally just attack anything that fucking moves. Yet, for some reason, Don targets his children and teleports around the fucking city, specifically going after them the whole fucking movie.
Also, the movie went out of its way to show us all the keycard access Don needed to get around this place. Is he now, even though he's gone full monster mode, still using the keycard? I mean, it would be hilarious if they showed us that. It's practically a sin they don't. Also, this code red hasn't locked down If anything, I think it unlocked more of the doors. We have no idea who he just tackled. Context clues would make you think it was his son, Andy. Look at me thinking context matters like a chomp. Does Andy think that information is helpful to anyone? I'm just saying maybe adding in on and he's infected isn't too much to ask. For this scene, they put a camera and a flashlight in a blender, and then put that blender in a paint shaker. I was able to pick out this woman and a handful of other people laughing in this scene. I'm not going to count them all. I'm guessing it was about 28. This kid managed to crowd surf up into the vent during the equivalent of a strong bad light switch rave.
Confirm only target infected.
I mean, that should be...
How? Look at this fucking chaos. How the hell are they supposed to only target the infected? It's not like the infected are extremely disfigured or something. They look like everyone else, unless you somehow manage to hit a light into their eyes to see that their eyes are all fucked up. So what good is this order? Only target the infected when there's literally a mob of fucking people running through a dark corridor, and the infected run just like people do. Like, what is order?
The order, but how is that order even remotely possible to carry out with a decent success rate? At least turn all the goddamn power back on so it would be a little easier to make out the infected in all this fucking chaos. Why didn't somebody lock that one goddamn door? Why wasn't that a fucking order?
Tam?
That's a funny way to say, holy crap, I can't believe I found you. Like, I literally don't believe it, and I don't think anyone watching will either.
Shooting everybody. Makes no sense.
It makes perfect.
No, actually, like Scarlett just said, it makes fucking perfect sense. You have an outbreak. Shit just hit the fan. Work up. Fuck it, kill them all, let God sort them out. You think the Americans are gonna give a fuck? They're like, okay, we have an insanely infectious disease that turns people into berserker rage monsters, and it's loose. Yeah, it's literally gonna be like, all right, fuck it, kick it in, flip it into auto, and start mag dumping. Like, yes, absolutely fucking yes.
Makes sense. It's code red.
Code Red is a military plan that the higher-ups put in action to kill everyone if containment fails. That does not in any fucking way make it make sense.
Why aren't you at your post?
The script told me to be here, but play it as being inspired by a vague sense of moral obligation.
Close frequency.
Aren't all military frequencies closed? Is this one extra closed so only best friends can access it? Doing Monty Python and the Holy Grail jokes at a time like this. Andy survives this. The lack of lighting and extra cutting makes it hard to tell how stupid his choice was, but
Jesus.
I assure you it was dumb.
God, what
Should have
the-
gotten him.
Are you seeing all of the cutting happening in this movie? You cannot see shit. You have no idea where the fuck anyone is or what the fuck anyone is doing. It's like, Reverend Edward Scissorhands edited this shit, I think. It's editing via Edward Scissorhands.
Kill.
And there's his dad.
In the entire first movie and this one, the virus turns people into irrational rage monsters that can't help but run at you. But since the virus has encountered this family, it's much more driven by story need, as if it has mutated into a plot virus. No, not the Diorama art store. Out of all the infected, Dawn has to somehow be the stealthy one. They've made Dawn this franchise's bub, but unlike Dawn, we've f***ing loved Bub. And if you don't know who Bub is, quit watching f***ing movies like this and go watch Day of the Dead. And if you have to ask me which version, f*** you. Having the surprise reveal of Alice is still alive, and then less than 15 minutes later have the surprise reveal of, oh wait, we f***ing killed her off again. And then less than 15 minutes after that, choose to show her decaying corpse being burnt to a crisp. It's grimy as f***. And this movie isn't good enough to make me feel anything other than gross, and not in the fun horror movie way. The footbridge that is in every modern London movie, and is between everyone and their desired London destination at all times. I wish I got to see the looks on these f***ers' faces when they realized there was no one else in England. I picture them stopping to look at each other, and one says, well, now what? And the other one responds with, uh-oh. After they flamed out that entire area, how are there still this many infected running around? Between this and that f***ing door not being locked, Code Red really f***ing sucked in execution.
Like, okay, again, the Americans are the ones in charge of defense here. Okay, there's some Britons that are that you know, in the military command, but the Americans are the one running the military response here. Jimmy, are you seriously going to tell me that a viral infection that turns people into berserker rage monsters occurs? That there's a good goddamn guaranteed chance that every single person, or at least half the populace, is going to be turned into these violent rage monsters that will not stop until they're dead. And you're telling me the American response is not immediately to send the kid and glass the whole fucking city? Granted, the kid wasn't around back then, I know that, but you get the point I'm making. They would have glassed this whole fucking city. They probably would have just dropped a fucking nuke on Great Britain and turned the whole fucking country into a crater. Let's be fucking realistic, okay? Yeah, they would have sent Buff and had him just drop a couple of nukes out of his ass and just glass the country and sent it back to the Cretaceous period. Let's be realistic here.
In a non-American landscape on the brink of the apocalypse, McDonald's can still find a way to get some advertising in. Random close-up of Poots is random and Pootsy.
Hey, Ember, you're awesome. Thanks for all the time brought a laugh on my bad days. Hope you have a better day tomorrow.
Thank you, Thank you, No Shadow. I'm glad I'm able to have, that you're able to have such a fun time. It does mean the world to me.
And presumed death, not letting this man forget about his noticeable teeth. Reminding me that I could have been watching the Carter Steam Fair's How to Build the Steam Gallopers video several times over by now. See, even when there isn't shit in this world to do, carousels are still a fucking drag. Why do they exist? Don't tell me because kids love them. Kids love Minecraft too. Doesn't make it a good thing.
They left us again.
They didn't leave you the first time. You were on a fucking class trip and all of Britain got shut the fuck down. Even a kid as dumb as Andy should understand that isn't the same as child abandonment.
I got that boy on my side. It's not a target anymore.
That's all well and good, but will anyone think about the fact that if the boy had run off with the girl and then found the mom, none of this shit would have happened? This is...
Or that Jeremy Renner let them go and didn't immediately raise the alarm and get birds in the air? We're not going to forget about that. We're not forgetting about that, Jeremy. You could have stopped them. You could have stopped them, Jeremy. You could have prevented all of this from happening. We will not forget.
Clearly, 100% Andy's fault. And before you judge, you were fucking thinking it too.
Their mother had very special blood, a natural kind of immunity to the virus.
To reiterate one more time, what you said was...
So technically, she's not immune.
And that still makes no f***ing sense to me. I realize this movie is dumb, but didn't realize it would achieve jackass ruins the rescue plan by hanging off the helicopter levels of dumb. But here we are. This scene where Flynn gets to chop up the infected with helicopter blades is really the only reason this movie needed a helicopter.
No, true story.
I can see being irritated at the guy trying to get in the helicopter, but Flynn's reaction to the death of Discount Apple CEO Tim Cook is as if they had a long-standing grievance, like this guy bullied him in high school.
Doyle! You need to get to safe ground! Get to the stadium!
This is like when you reach a checkpoint in a video game, but the story isn't ready for you to actually win anything yet. So some bullshit happens in the cutscene, and your new goal is set somewhere all the way on the other side of the map.
Ditch those people! I'm not taking them!
Doyle could very easily explain over calm why the kids are important and the fact that Scarlett is one of them, but chooses not to because reasons.
I need you to help me, okay? Help me with your...
Like, communications in this movie is abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Like, nobody fucking talks to anyone in this movie. It's insane.
Sister?
Because girls are dumb and always need our help when discount zombies are chasing after us.
Gas! Get back!
Now they're going to outrun f***ing gas? Gas? I don't have a strong opinion on fast versus slow zombies, but I do know the editing for most of this movie can go all the way off to zombie movie hell.
Fuck, I'm getting sick!
The one request my college girlfriend would never grant me somehow makes its way into the movie. Maybe it's because we were never in a car when I asked. I keep thinking that I've seen the stupidest part of the movie and then something like this happens. Jeremy Rendered. Also, at least the kids will have that one time at Burning Man story. Also,
yeah, that's how they kill off Jeremy Renner in this movie. This is how they kill Jeremy Renner. The one guy at least got that epic moment where he flies the helicopter and chops up the zombies with helicopter blade. This is how they kill off their star of the movie. By having him go toasty pushing the car. Oh, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was that set the. I think they napalmed. I'm trying to remember this particular scene. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I can't remember if they dropped napalm or if they this was like if this was like flammable gas. I don't recall exactly what it was, but that is something along those lines.
I keep thinking that I've seen the stupidest part of the movie and then something like this happens. Jeremy Rendered. Also, at least the kids will have that one time at Burning Man story. Also, movie sets Doyle on fire instead of Scarlett and ruins my chance to do a Rose Byrne sin, which would have been a perfect follow-up to my Gabriel Byrne sin from the Hereditary video, and god damn it, 28 weeks later, how many more opportunities will I have to do that? And no, Jeremy Rendered doesn't make up for it.
Oh my god!
You know, you could stop...
No, you know what I think it was? I think it was the gas. Wait, was the gas flammable? And when they started the car, it like a spark happened that triggered the gas outside, which set him on fire. Maybe. I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched. I can't remember. Yeah, I think that was it. With this gas, it was flammable, so the slightest spark. So I think that's why they didn't turn. Maybe that's why they didn't start the car. Was it a flamethrower? Okay, like I said, it's been a while. It was a kill squad armed with a flamethrower. Okay, okay, maybe it was that. Like I said, it's been a while since I've seen this movie. I blocked out plenty of it.
Doesn't make up for it.
Oh my god!
You know, you could stop, I don't know, looking? Discount Sacha Baron Cohen's eyes. The one thing this movie gets right is that Volvo does make a damn good car. The one thing. Thank God the U.S. military teach the medics advanced getaway driving courses.
I can see, it's okay. I've got the night sight on. You're doing great. Just hold the rail.
The desire to film the characters in night vision overruled the more logical choice, which would be Scarlett going in front with the scope and the kids following closely behind. Instead, we get this weird backseat driving nonsense that looks dumb and feels dumber.
And by the way, can we also point out, she's pointing a gun at the kids using this night scope because I'm pretty sure she's holding the gun, using the night scope to see, which means she's pointing the gun at the kids.
Seat driving nonsense that looks dumb and feels dumber.
Okay, go to your right.
Ah, it's irritating and worth at least 28 weeks of sins. Also, nothing reeks of shitty late aughts American horror more than the use of night vision POV. Yeah, Spain figured out how to make it work in Wreck, but that shit only works once. Not a single one of these infected have ever stealthily snuck up on anyone, so why all of a sudden does infected Don have the ability to do this other than the movie needs him to have that ability?
And be able to teleport around the whole fucking city and find these guys no matter where they fucking go. That's another thing. He's literally just, he teleports anywhere the plot needs him to be, and somehow he always knows exactly where his kids are and can teleport right to them.
Seeing Scarlett getting beat to death from the perspective of the night vision scope she was using so poorly is a weird attempt at justice. Imogen shoots. Still pissed I couldn't do the Rose Byrne sin, but I'll take it. Andy. I mean, no.
Oh,
but
for
also
God's
Andy.
sake.
Am I one of them?
Yeah, by the way, why was she just standing there just screaming his name and then finally suddenly decides, oh, maybe I should go run after him? Look,
Andy.
she's
I mean,
screaming,
no,
screaming.
but also
Oh, now I'm
Andy.
going to run after him.
Am I one of them? No, you're not.
I mean, but technically he is. Maybe Andy won't have the need to burrow people's eye sockets out and eat them, but he can still infect others with the rage virus. I'm not sure how keeping any of this from him is helping at the moment. I mean, what if he runs off and in the heat of the moment kisses Scarlett? I know that's what I'd be doing next. Oh, what's that? Scarlett's dead? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Still stand by my sin. Wait.
Come on, get in.
There's an island nearby that I think I can get us to. It's fucking weird, though. There are polar bears and a smoke monster, and we might have to travel back in time to the 70s. You know what? I'll explain on the way. It's impossible to tell if the outbreak is spreading through Paris or John Wick is working again. Also, the movie doesn't make it clear whether other infected crossed the channel or if Andy is to blame for engaging in the French practice of la bise.
It's like kissing a girl through a plate glass window.
What have we here?
I am not drinking any fucking Merlot!
But that'll shoot down your plane.
Although the Isle of Dogs is completely safe, the surrounding area of London is not.
Blizzards of infected fleas, worms, ticks, and lice menace the citizenship.
We weren't here 6 months ago.
You know, if you want to get laid, you really don't have to pretend to be interested in the pyramid scam.
If it comes back, we kill it. Code red.
Mountain Dew?
Everything smelled of piss.
Including me.
They came in through the kitchen window.
What if they come in through the back door or the bathroom window like that infamous Beatles song?
Sorry about the delousing, Rod. It's standard procedure.
It's powdered sugar.
Step 1, kill the infected. Step 2, containment.
Phase 3, profit.
Driving erratic. Suspects are under the influence of narcotics.
Red light.
Yeah. 28 weeks later sucked. They took a great psychological horror movie, like a great, biological and psychological horror movie, and they turned it into a stupid action movie with quick cuts, shaky cam, over-the-shoulder shots, and night vision shots. Fuck this movie. It deserves all of its sins.